Welcome to day 11 of our journey through studying the Bible here in community on YouTube. Today we're going to be going through yesterday's assignment in Genesis chapter 8. This is People of the Free Gift, where we ground believers in their identity in Christ and equip them to reach those caught in religion. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any of our future content studying through the Bible here in community here on YouTube. And if you want to go back to day one, you can go in the cards or the description down below and look through the playlist link for study through the Bible. And it'll take you right there. And so let's go ahead and jump in yesterday's assignment. Read Genesis 8 and mark every reference to time and to Noah and list what you learn regarding Noah. And so I have in my notes saying, Noah is in blue. And so God remembered Noah, every living thing, and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters assuaged. The fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. And the waters returned from off the earth continually. And after the end of the 150 days, the waters were abated. And so you have the water that's stopping. And so notice again, it mentions the rain, but also mentions the windows of heaven. It mentions the fountains of the deep were all shut off now. And so you have but then the next verse, the ark rested in the 7th month on the 17th day of the month upon the mountains of Ararat. That seems like a random thing to mention, but I have a treat for you in store when we get to the week's message, this week's message, going through this passage, because that is another way in which God snuck in a little tidbit, a little treasure for you to dig up that points directly to Jesus and the new beginning we have in him. So stay tuned for that, coming soon to a YouTube channel near you. Okay. And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month, and the 10th month and the first day of the month were the tops of the mountains seen. And it came to pass at the end of the 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made. So this is going into the details of what we just read. Okay, so it gave you the overview, how long, they're on there, 150 days, right? But then, so this is the details. At the end of the 40 days, Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made, and he sent forth the raven, which he went forth to and fro until the waters were dried up from the earth. And he sent forth a dove from him to see if the waters were abated from the face of the ground. The dove found no rest for the sole of its foot, and returned back to him in the ark. And for the waters were on the face of the whole earth. And he put forth his hand, and he took her and pulled her into the ark. And he stayed yet another 7 days, and again he sent forth the dove out of the ark. And the dove came into the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked. So Noah knew that the waters were abated from off the earth. And he stayed yet another 7 days, and sent forth the dove, which returned not again to him anymore. So he sends forth the dove. The dove finds dry ground. He knows, okay, it's time pretty much to get off the ark. And so another 7 days he stayed in after that. And it came to pass in the 601st year, and the first month, the first day of the month, the waters were dried up from the face of the earth. And Noah removed the covering of the ark, looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. And in the 2nd month, on the 7th and 20th day of the month, the earth was dried. And God spake unto Noah, saying, Go forth from the ark, you and your wife, your sons wives with you. Bring forth with you every living thing that is with you of all flesh, both fowl and cattle, and every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth, and that they may breed abundantly in the earth. Be fruitful and multiply upon the earth. And Noah went forth, his sons, his wife, his sons' wives with them, every beast, every creeping thing, every fowl, and whatsoever creepeth upon the earth, after their kinds, went forth out of the ark. And Noah built an altar unto the Lord, and took of every clean beast and every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. So a little hint into why he had 7 of the clean and 2 of the unclean. And so he takes 1, so that would make it, if pending that they didn't have offspring while they're on the ark, which is probably, God would be able to supernaturally prevent that from the overcrowding situation while they're on the ark for the 150 days. And he's a graceful God, right? But he takes 1 of the clean animals, of every clean animal offers. That was a huge offering. to get things back right on the right track after the flood. And the Lord smelled the sweet savor, and the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake, for the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more every living thing as I have done. While the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. This is another hint of the fact that the flood was global and not local, because you have this statement that during this time, the seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night had ceased. Like, this affected the seasons, it affected the harvest, it affected the temperatures, it affected the global environment. Okay, so this is another hint that this is not local, this is global. And so not a lot in this chapter that you just read about the details of it, about time and, when the ark came to rest. And so, like I said, stay tuned for that little tidbit that I have in there. But today's assignment, read Genesis 9, mark every occurrence of the word covenant, also mark every reference to Noah and list what you learn. Compare Genesis 9, 5, and 6, and Numbers 35, 29 through 34, and Deuteronomy 21, 1 through 9. And I didn't mention that you can find that assignment down in the description down below. And also, if you had questions from today's section or one of the previous ones, or just in general something that I didn't cover, if you have an insight that I didn't cover, feel free to put that in the comments down below. I'm going to be choosing some of the questions for the weekly Q&A at the end of the week. And so until next time, may his grace be upon you. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Give us a thumbs up. Share this with other people in your life who want to study the Bible but have been unsuccessful up until this point, so that they can be invited to study it here in community in YouTube and get the tools they need, get their questions answered, and get active in serving the Lord and sharing this good news with others. And so, like I said, until next time, may his grace be with you.